These are notes for section 7.3. Okay, 7.3 here. We have page 382, looks like. 1 to 47 odd. So it's all on this one page. So I'll give you sets of problems. And that part. And then the bottom. Okay. Answers in the back of the book. 7.3. Here we are. You can see it all. Trying to angle it so you can see it better. Okay, that should do it. All right, so there are different sets of problems here, so I'll go over each set. So 1 through 12, use a discriminant to find a number and kinds of solutions for each of the following equations. The discriminant is the stuff that's underneath the square root for the quadratic formula. In other words, it's b squared minus 4ac. Okay? So what do they want us to do? So a is 1, b is -6, c is 5. Only look at the discriminant. Discriminant is the stuff underneath the square root. B squared minus 4ac. So that's b squared is -6 squared is 36 minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 5. 36 minus 20 is 16. Okay. That means we have two rational solutions. Underneath the square root, you're going to have a 16. Square root of 16 is a nice number 4. So that's called two rational solutions. Okay. For number 3, 4x squared minus 4x equals -1. Add 1 to both sides, so it's in standard form. So a is 4, b is -4, c is 1. So the discriminant, d, stuff underneath the square root, b squared minus 4ac. So b squared, -4 squared is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is 1. That gives me 16 minus 16 equals 0. So under the square root, you have the square root of 0. Well, we've seen that. If you have the square root of 0, that's still 0. So you would do blah, blah, blah plus 0 and blah, blah, blah minus 0. Well, that's the same thing. So that's considered one rational solution. Okay, for number 5, x squared plus x minus 1 equals 0. So a is 1, b is 1, c is -1. So the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, just the stuff underneath the square root, is b squared, which is 1, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is -1. So that's 1 plus 4, which is 5. You're going to be taking the square root of 5. That's two irrational solutions. So the square root of 5 is a real number. It's not nice. You can punch it in your calculator. It's like 2.236, blah, 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 blah. So it's two irrational solutions. Okay, then question number 6. I know it's even, but I need to show you this. X squared minus 2x plus 3 equals 0. So a is 1, b is -2, c is 3. So d is b squared minus 4ac. B squared -2 squared is 4. Minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 3. That comes out to be 4 minus 12 equals -8. You're taking the square root of -8, so that means two complex solutions. There's going to be an I involved. Okay, so that's how you do that set of problems. The next set, 13 to 21, it says determine k so that each of the following has exactly one rational solution. One rational solution means the discriminant is 0, that d is equal to 0. So how do you do that? Okay, so 13, make d equal to 0 to have one rational solution. So 13 says x squared minus kx plus 25 equals 0. So that should be a minus there. A little bit better. So I do the discriminant b squared minus 4ac. So b squared k squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 25 equals 0. That gives me k squared minus 100 equals 0. That factors in a k plus 10, k minus 10 equals 0. Okay, so what number makes this 0? -10. What number makes this 0? 10. So my k can be either -10 or 10. Okay, here's 17. 4x squared minus 12x plus k equals 0. So a is 4, b is -12, c is k. So do the discriminant b squared minus 4ac. So b squared, -12 squared is 144, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is k, equals 0. 144 minus 16k equals 0. Add 16k to both sides. 144 equals 16k, divide by 16, k is equal to 9. Okay, 19, kx squared minus 40x equals 25. Subtract the 25, so it looks like kx squared minus 40x minus 25 equals 0. So my a is the unknown k, b is negative 40, c is negative 25. So b squared minus 4ac is negative 40 squared, 1600, minus 4 times a, which is k, times c, which is negative 25, equals 0. 1600 plus 100k equals 0. Subtract 1600. 100k equals negative 1600. Divide by 100. K is equal to negative 16. Okay, then the rest of the problems. For each of the following problems, find an equation that has a given solution. So they give you the solutions, come up with the equation. So that's backwards than what we're used to. So a little bit of a timeout. For 23, suppose the original problem was x minus 5, x minus 2 equals 0. Well, then you would say either this is 0 or this is 0, which means x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 2. Okay, now we're just going backwards. So they give you the solutions, it's x equals 5 and x equals 2. So you just go backwards and say x minus 5, x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so that's all you have to do. So they're giving you the solutions, come up with the equation that has those solutions. Okay, so for 25, they tell you the solutions are negative 3 and 6. So you build that back as t plus 3, t minus 6 equals 0. In other words, you're probably comfortable with saying, what are the solutions here? Negative 3 and 6. But we're just going backwards. The solutions are negative 3 and 6. Build the equation. So essentially you go t minus each of these. T minus a minus 3, t plus 3, and t minus 6. Okay, 27, the solutions are 2, negative 2, and 4. So you go y minus 2, y minus a minus 2, y plus 2, and y minus 4 equals 0. Okay, 29, the solutions are 1/2 and 3. So you go x minus a half, x minus 3 equals 0. That's a little bit clumsy though, so let's give it to the fractions. Multiply both sides by 2. 0 times 2 is 0. And if I distribute the 2 here, you have 2x minus 1. So that looks better. Times x minus 3 equals 0. And if necessary, you could always multiply that back out, but we don't feel like it. Okay, 35, the solutions are negative 1/2 and 3/5. So again, you just go a minus that, a minus that. So a minus a minus a half, a plus a half, a minus 3/5 equals 0. Okay, but again, clean up the mess, give it a fraction. So in green, multiply both sides by 2 to clean that up. Multiply both sides by 5 to clean that up. Okay, and then I distribute. 2 times that is 2a plus 1. 5 times that, 5a minus 3 equals 0. That just makes it look a little bit nicer. Okay, 39, we actually have 4 solutions. X is 2, negative 2, 3, and negative 3. So it's just x minus each one. Okay, x minus that, x minus that, x minus that, x minus that. So x minus 2, x minus a minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 3, x minus a minus 3, x plus 3 equals 0. Okay, in this particular case, they want you to multiply it all out. So multiply it out. That's x squared minus 4. That's x squared minus 9. Distribute by FOIL. X to the 4th minus 13x squared plus 36 equals 0. And of course, you could have the option of multiplying all of these all the way if you wish. Also, no big deal. Okay, and let's see. Finally, 41. The roots are radical 7 and negative radical 7. Looks bad, but the equation won't be. You just go x minus each one. X minus radical 7, x minus a minus radical 7, x plus radical 7. So distribute x squared minus radical 7 times radical 7 is just 7. X squared minus 7 is equal to 0 because radical 7 times radical 7 is equal to 7. Right, so these are notes for section 7.3.